So, Paul, welcome back to Retro America, man. How you doing?
No, I'm doing all right, man. I'm hanging, man, dealing with this coronavirus and everything.
Yeah.
But with all that, I'm good.
How you dealing with it?
Oh, man, I'm just at the house chilling, man. Been watching a lot of TV, doing telemeetings over the phone, video chats with my recovery. And, that's been all good.
Yeah.
One of my lady friends, she been kind of coming by and hanging out with me and stuff. And, it's been all right.
Yeah. What is this? Any challenges for your recovery presented by this whole virus situation?
Just the idleness of it, just being idle, it can kind of kick that in. You know what I mean? Idle mind and stuff. So I just stay centered with and praying to God, asking for strength, protect my family and friends, and just with the meetings, just with the meeting, the telemeetings and stuff and all that. So it's all good. You know what I mean? The mind, like I said, we'll say idle mind, the devil workshop.
There you go.
So I had to be conscious of that. So that's about it. But like I say, I've been having the telemeetings, and my lady friend, she would come through, and but then we fell out. So that's another thing can make me a little squirrely. But I'm getting to the other side of that. There ain't no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Well, that was this morning. Basically this morning. Yeah, basically this morning. So, just really a relationship I don't need to be in ain't healthy at the end of the day. But when you go through, a lot of times I'm aware of myself. A lot of times, I had a pastor say one time, be careful of loneliness because it make you do some stuff you don't want to do. So by rights, she probably really shouldn't be over here visiting or doing none of that. I need to let her do her thing and I do mine and just learn to be in my sense of solitude. But it's easy. It's hard. It's easy to say, but hard to do.
Mm-hmm. So you with this social distancing business, you have adequate support systems for you.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I say, I got friends that call me, I talk to, the meetings on the phone, and just staying connected with people, man. Positive people that's gonna help me go forward. You know what I mean? Like I say, when I had the little incident with my lady this morning, she left and everything. I got on the phone, called a few people. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with somebody talking about it when we got off. So, the deal is just to talk about it, process it, and get to the other side, and mainly see what I need to do different. It ain't about the other. It's never about the other person, man. It's all about me.
And so what do you need to do different?
Basically, just my reaction on certain things and the way I think about it. Just to be able to say how I feel and, just say how I feel about it and then say how you feel about it and turn it over and not react to my instincts. Because my instincts is what killed me. If I put my instincts before my spirituality, that's where I have problems.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised you said that because you usually, don't have any problem expressing yourself. It sounds like you.
Well, you know what? It's funny when it comes to dealing with a lady and stuff and expressing. It's like that's kind of hard for me to do.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you see, I can talk and express to you and share, but when you got to deal with somebody and their thoughts and their reality, and it's a dialogue, it becomes a little difficult. And then my patience and my tolerance is not there. My patience and my tolerance is real low and everything, because 9 out of 10, man, if you don't deal with somebody that's aware of themselves, you're really just talking to a wall. And then I'll be trying to make a wall talk, and you can't make a wall talk, So I'll go inwardly and act. I go inside, then I'll begin to act out inwardly. Just like people say, what you mean when you act out? Well, when something happens and you begin to behave a certain way and you treat a certain person a certain way, and the way you lash out and you get angry and then you act out. Well, you can inwardly act out also with yourself. Inwardly act out is for me to shut down, for me not to share my emotions and feelings. And then it comes out sideways. So, it's like stuff like that I have to be conscious of and aware of within myself. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah. So Is that been something that's been consistent with your relationships? Is that a habit you've had? Is that that your
Oh
MO?
yeah, yeah. That's the MO. That's definitely the MO. Because you know what? Let me tell you something, man. Reality, I haven't found the time to be able to spend with myself. Before you can deal with someone else, my belief is, man, you got to heal yourself. If not, you're going to attract the same type of behavior or ways. That's why I say I can't knock her for the way she does, because it's in me. So until I begin to heal myself, continue to work on myself, that's when I will be able to meet someone that's on that level of spirituality of well, what I would like, to where we can get to the other side. See, she didn't have the ability to be able to stay and then let's talk about it and discuss it, which I was down to do. If she would have stayed, her MO was to get up and leave the house and wake up and she gone, basically. And then tell me she didn't like the way I made her feel. So,
can you tell me what happened?
Well, basically, we was watching TV last night and this morning, watching TV, and then it got to the level where, okay, TV was over and we was gonna be physical together. Well, I thought that we was. But she started acting out in a way with silliness. It's a little silliness that she does that I can see her. She becomes an antagonist. So I don't know if that's her doing that subconsciously because she didn't want to be, and she was just acting on that. I don't know, but that's a pattern that she'll kind of do. And see, it's funny, man. I'm a sex addict, but I'm a love addict too. So it's like I like the feeling of we kissing, we loving each other, we wanting each other. I like to make love out of love, a connection feeling. And the way she was acting, it was taking that away from me. So it was like it was turning me off. Basically, the way she was doing was turning me off. So I rolled over and was like, but now I ain't supposed to do nothing. I'm gonna go to sleep. Well, at the end of the day, I'm laying there, but I'm a little horny. And I say, you know what? Well, just have sex. Don't worry about the little part. Just grabbing, let's just have sex. Fuck. And I did that, but I wasn't my loving, caring self. You know what I mean? I wasn't my nurturing self. I just basically had sex. So, it was over. It was a done deal. And I rolled over and went to sleep. You know what I mean? It wasn't no cuddling or none of that type of shit. So I guess she woke up feeling like that. It wasn't loving. It wasn't this and everything. And, it was stuff I wanted to say to her this morning about it. But it was like, hey, you know what? I wasn't loving. I apologize and I hurt your feelings. That wasn't my intention. And, I said, but why did you have to leave? Well, I didn't like the way you made me feel and did it. Well, you already established that, but why couldn't you stay? And we discussed it and maybe we'll get to the other side. But that didn't take place. So she basically say, she'll call me back. And I know how that means when I call you back. So basically, I might not talk to her for about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And then when she started feeling a little itch of missing me, and then that's when she gonna call me, and then we'll go back and have another situation, and she come back. So it's like a vicious cycle. And it's up to me today to make a decision to break that cycle. And let it be what it is, because we'll never get to a level where we'll be committed together. She ain't no woman right now. She's not no woman that I'm gonna go, hey, come on, let's go get married. I ain't gonna do that shit. And I need to face that truth. But with facing that truth come fear. Because it's like, I'll be alone. I'm going to be by myself. Who going to, you know what I mean? I ain't going to have nobody. You go through all that type of stuff. So it's a matter of settling where, learning not to settle for stuff. And then still be conscious of what I did and how I behaved, because just because she didn't act the way I wanted to act wasn't for me to just act out and just fuck. You know what I mean? Just say, well, let's fuck, because that's not good for my recovery. Because in recovery, we can act out in a relationship. We think that we can have behaviors that we know we don't need to do, But then the goal for me is to begin to evolve to where, man, hey, you can act out in a relationship. You can be, say you got a sex plan. You know, we in SAA, Sex Acts Anonymous 12-step program, you have a sex plan. You have behaviors that's your inner circle. You have behaviors that's your middle circle. You have behaviors that's your outer circle. Outer circle being good things that you do. Middle circle things that you do, but you don't want to, you do them, but it doesn't cause a sense of you to relapse in your outer circle. You know what I'm saying? So that was her calling me now. So the deal is I can be with my wife and I'm faithful, and in my inner circle is, hey, no cheating on my lady, but I can be acting out behavior with my lady unconsciously. Right. So the way I was aggressive sexually, to where it was just about like I said, I laid up. See, this is what I needed from her. When I laid down and said, I ain't gonna worry about this, I wanted from her to grab me and say, come here, baby, I'm sorry, I did, I'm tripping, come here. But she's just gonna take her ass to sleep. Okay, she was fucking fine, but I'm laying over there all fucked up. I done popped a Viagra. I'm like, motherfuck this, I ain't finna let this motherfucker go to waste. Okay, this shit costs too much, if I tell you the truth. So it's like, yeah, let me just get some pussy in. So, but I gotta be conscious of that, that behavior, because it had me antsy. So when I go to sleep, I'm having unhealthy dreams. You know what I mean? So, I kind of woke up and saw myself touching myself, and I don't masturbate. That's one of my inner circle. So it's like, whoa. But the intensity and the negativity of the physicalness with her brought about the disease. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully people hear that
I'm getting it. So you popped the Viagra, Pop.
yeah. Pop, hey man, Pop Pop is rolling, man. Pop, like fuck this then, and you know what I mean. And see, I'm a love maker. I'm not a fucker. I don't like to do that. Man, I would give a prostitute to make love to him. That's the guy I would. Because what do I really want? I want to. Through sex, I want you care. I feel that I'm loved, and that's really crazy. However, it's the truth.
Well,
because remember,
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember being a kid, and I wanted my cousin just to hold me, like just to pick me up and just hold me. I don't know what that was about, but I know that it wasn't about me him being sexual with me. It was about just feeling love, you know what I mean? And that turned to me sucking his dick. So it's like, that's how love was represented to me real young. So at the same time, my deal, I guess, as you moving forward, that becomes the issue. And man, I think what people might want to hear may help them. Man, we don't realize the devastation that stuff can do to us when we're a child, and how we can still relive that stuff as an adult. And therefore, we never grow up in the areas of our life. We still handle them with childishness because we haven't grown up. Man, it's a lot of people, including myself, we can walk around here a certain age, but be acting as a kid. What's that saying they call it? A child, adult, or adult. It's a saying they say with that. Can you help me with that? Adult child?
Yeah. Well, I think you might be talking about the saying where they say, once an adult, twice a child. Is that what you mean?
Well, once an adult, yeah. Well, you can say it like that. Yeah, you can put it in that. You can put it in that setting. Yeah. It's like, and if you haven't dealt with those issues and got aware of them, you're still gonna handle them as a kid. See, whatever reason, my lady don't know how to say, baby, I felt this way, I heard this way, and hey, it might be me. She might not feel comfortable to be able to share. This is how she made me feel without staying present, and had to run away from me to do that. And then that's what she says, she needs to stop doing it. But guess what? She still do the behaviors anyway. Why? Because she has not identified the problem to see why she does that to even get to a solution. Take your car and your car don't crank, man. And the first thing you look at it, you check the battery. You go out and buy a battery, right? Well, you know, you're in the solution. I'm going to buy a battery. You know what I mean? Because you're identifying that the problem is your battery. When you go out and go buy that battery, you put it inside your car and your car still don't crank. Guess what? You got into a solution. However, that was not the root of the problem. So a lot of times we can think that we're in a solution, but that's not the exact problem. Therefore, we have the wrong solution. So the goal for me is to be able to get in contact with what's going on with myself inside to really be able to get to a solution to what can make this better. I could pray to God all day, but if I don't get specific about the prayer, what I need him to help me with, it's not going to do any good because I haven't identified what's making me tick. Because remember, God give us a brain to use. So I got to be able to use my brain to get in touch with the cause and effect of what's going on with me to make me react. What was going on with me last night? Well, when she acted the way she acted. See, really about right, I wish I could have rolled over and said, hey, babe, now I got frustrated. I felt like, you know, you do this aggravating thing with me where it makes me not want to connect. And I should have shared with you a little bit how I felt and then go from there. I ran on my instincts. What instincts I ran on? My sexual instinct. Okay. I ran on my social instinct of wanting her to be able to tell me, hey, baby, this is how I feel. But why am I making her responsible for what I need to do for my feelings? No, I was supposed to roll over and tell her how I felt. But then when it didn't go that way, I went into child mode and just say, well, shit, just take some pussy, get some pussy. That was not the way to do that. And I got to express to her, this is what I felt. This is why I did this here. And I apologize. That's all I'm going to do with it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to take a baseball bat and beat myself up because it's a lot of black men in America not even have the ability to even talk to you like I'm talking to you, to even get in touch why they do what they do. I might not get it right, but at least I know why I'm not getting it right. And I'm striving to make it better. And that's all I can do. And at the end of the day, go ahead.
In that moment, given what you know, in that moment, why didn't you do better?
It just wasn't meant for me to be. It just wasn't meant for me to do better. I just wasn't in that position mentally, spiritually, to be able to do that. I didn't, let's say if I would have took the time to stop and say, okay, God, let's pray. See, there go the key right there. Let me stop and connect with God. Anything that I do when I get disturbed or I go through an emotional deal, I got to turn to God. If not, I'm going to do it my way. You can holler all you want to how spiritual you are. But as it's a walk that I'm doing. It's a spiritual walk. And sometimes I'm not going to be there. However, that being the case, how do I learn how to get there? First of all, don't beat myself up because I'm human. Don't beat myself up because I'm not perfect. And don't use that as an excuse not to want to get better, saying, oh, I'm human and hey, da-da-da-da. No. I need to be able to man up, put on my pants, say I fucked up, I made this error, and let me see what I can do to make it better. And that's basically what I'm going to do with her. What can I do to make it better for you? What do you need from me? And then begin to just do it the way that I feel God would have me to do. And then it's off me. See, because people don't have the ability to look at themselves. See, she don't even realize how she acts to make me prompt me to act. But I can't focus on that. I got to focus on what did I do to prompt her and change my ways. And then here go the deal. If she doesn't change, then guess what, man? I got to put on my big boy pants and say, hey, baby, you know what? I've been enjoying this relationship. It's been a good deal. And it's probably time for us just to let this go. But I'm not going to let it go if I feel like I'm supposed to lose something and not feel a sense of, hey, God got my back. Let me have faith of a pit bull and hold on. And it's something better yet for me to come. But however, we'll settle and go through it. Most women, you got women that's dead right now because they couldn't let go of a relationship that was just unhealthy. And we want to blame the man, oh, he killed her and he should have done that. But it was some signs that she was supposed to get the fuck on. And vice versa for a man. I was watching the movie, Fatal Attraction. This dude was a hoe. He's a hoe. He was messing around. And then she killed him in his sleep. And then had the audacity to take her motherfucking ass to church. So that's scary. So that let me know, man, this ain't about the outside stuff I did. The false evidence is what I see. Just because I see a girl going to church, she could be crazier than the girl that's in the street, that's suffering from drugs and alcohol, and to get sober and be the best woman in the world. But you got that woman that's at church every day that's looking and smelling and sounding that she is just the greatest woman on the planet, but ain't by shit. You know what I mean? So we can't go by what we see, man, at the end of the day.
So Bob,
go ahead.
Question for you. Two questions, actually. One, have you ever found the love of your life?
Man, boy, it depends on how you put that. Have I thought I found the love of my life?
Yes.
Yeah. Have I found the love of my life? No. Okay. No. Mm-hmm. And you know what? The closest I got to it one time when I was sober, like 4 or 5 months of sobriety, in SAA. You know, let's put the dope to the side because sex became my dope. So when I put that to the side, I'll never forget being sober, and I met a girl one time. And, you know, I don't know if it's true, but I got to kind of say, a wife don't find a man, a man find a wife. So I got to let my wife, I got to go to her. Don't let her come to me. Because every woman that comes to me ain't really been worth a shit. So I'm attracting women that the way that I am. But when I got a sense of healthiness within myself, I never forget I was 24 years old and was in church doing the thing I need to do. I saw a beautiful young lady, man, back, 24. And she about the only woman I regret. Well, I don't regret it now because I saw on Facebook she ain't all that pretty like she was. So I was like, whoo, okay. But
crazy.
At the end of the day, when I went up to her, man, she was a stallion, man. Looked like Halle Berry. And man, I went up and talked to her and I said something to her because I'm very, my mom always used to say to me, she said, son, you know what, you like your daddy. You're very charming. You can charm a woman to make them do whatever. And I said something to her, and it's just like, you know what? I've had a lot of guys say something to me, but boy, that was the first one I heard, and you got me on that. And man, this was the first woman I met, went to church, wasn't physical. Say, man, I can only name one woman out of the 20 that I was so-called in love with that we didn't have sex the next day.
The next day.
Every woman I got with, we fucked the next day. You know what I mean? We go on a date, or fuck that night. You know what I mean? That. You know? Now here, man, I'm 5'5" and 5'5". I don't know what it is about me, man, but boy, I could just, boy, I'm glad I ain't no superstar. I'll be fucked. I've been dead of age a long time ago.
You're like Will Chamberlain.
Come on, man. I'll be fucked. You know what I mean? Just, and I'm not even no superstar, okay? Right. So, and hey, man, it wasn't even about money then, because I didn't have no money. It was just my mouth. I got a mouthpiece. However, man, that was the first year of my journey till this day. I'm 50 years old, man. It's only one woman that waited 30 days to have sex with me. It was 30 days before we was physical. And she made a stand on that. It was the best relationship that I had because I got to kind of know her. She had done something to kind of make me mad one time, man. And then I was at my apartment complex working out in my gym, and she came around there to see if I was at home. And man, the girl came to me, man, with a letter, with a card, wrote on there, I apologize, forgive me for my behavior. Man, do you know that's the first woman in my life still to this day that came to me and apologized when she done something? Now, was that by cosmosis or whatever? No. I had got healthy where I attracted a healthy woman. And this was a girl that was aware of what she was doing and was willing to say, hey, I made a mistake and I was wrong. I didn't have it in my life. I wasn't attracting women like that. So, for anybody that may listen, man, if you fucked up, you're going to get something fucked up. But I got to get better and grow so I can attract something. So when that girl does come to me talking like Charlie Brown teacher, I'm going to walk the fuck away and say, I don't understand. But if I'm unhealthy, I'm going to try to make Charlie Brown teacher words make sense, So at the end of the day, man, she goes back to Dallas and she left. I started back acting out, picking up women in the street, doing my dirt. Man, she called me one day and I talked and opened my voice and she said, What's wrong with you? What you been doing? Now she way in fucking Dallas. But her spirit was able to kick on that I wasn't right. And broke up with me right there on that phone.
Really? Wow.
Really. She knew that I was not on point. She could hear it in my voice. She could tell that I wasn't the man that she met. And what? It was 2-3 weeks. I'm out there doing my thing. You know? So, at the end of the day, she went on. Only woman I ever regret to this moment. When I was 26 years ago now. You know, wow. 26 years ago. That's the only woman I didn't regret. And, man, I've had plenty of women I just fell in love with and thought that was it and it was the bomb. But at the end of the day, man, it was all sexual. You know what I mean? All of them was all sexual, except for one. And that was my high school sweetheart. Well, she wasn't my high school sweetheart, but I've been loving her since she was in high school. And me and her connected, and that's where I thought I found the love of my life, because I had been loving her since I was 15. We didn't start dating till 37. And goddamn it, if I knew what I would have known, I would have left her ass back there when I was 15. Okay? Yeah. And but at the end of the day, man, I gave her the world, I showed her the world, and all that. And at the end of the day, she didn't appreciate none of that shit. And we never became yoked. And so, yeah, man. So I believe, you know, but it gets scary when you get old. I'm 50 years old, man. Damn, I'm time kind of wearing down. So like,
what's scary?
Somebody. It gets, the fear of being alone, the fear of not having somebody special, the fear of somebody not burying me. And my hopes, man, is to find me a wife that's gonna bury me and say, you know what, this was a good man. He loved me. He did the things that I wanted from a man. And God bless my baby, kiss me on the head, and say, hey, thank you, baby. You know what I mean? I want that woman that I can depend on and trust on, and she can give me fulfillment. Not be my fulfillment, but give me fulfillment. It's a difference. And I can be able to do the same thing with her. Because in my heart, man, I'm a good man. I'm just a broken man that has to just get himself together through the power of God. And he'll bless me with that, but I need to be patient. I need to be patient and trust him. It's just simple as that. It's not. It's it's that simple, but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard when you lay in the bed at night.
It's simple, but it ain't easy.
There you go. It's simple, but it's not easy, man. It take work. Man, I've been going to therapy since I was fucking 21 years old. I'm 50. I'm still fucked up. So just imagine we're getting somebody that you just met in their 40s, 45, hell, even 35. It don't matter. Guess what? They ain't worked on themselves. And then you bring to their attention, they begin a process to go work on themselves. Hey, man, it's hard for them to change that. I've been going to therapy and I spent at least $100,000 on therapy throughout my lifetime. Okay? And I'm still in a place where, I'm way farther than what I could be. Let me not just do myself like that. But look, I'm further longer than most people could be who just ain't did nothing, who just ain't looked at none of themselves, man. And it's hard to get somebody to see that's not willing. I didn't know how to see that, but I'm grateful that cocaine came in my life at 8 or 19 years old, to where AA came in my life. Cocaine Anonymous, let me say, was in my life to help me work the program of recovery and learn to be a spiritual man. I'd be real fucked off if it wasn't for that. The only time I'm not on point is when I'm not walking the walk. When I walk the walk, it's like anything you do. Michael Jordan was the best because he woke up in the morning, he trained, he went to sleep and he trained. Kobe was the best because he did the same thing too, man. So it's all about the work I put into it. So however much work I put in my spirituality shows me how I'm become a human being, a better person.
Here's my question for you. So with all the $100,000 in therapy and the work you've done, when you look in the mirror, do you like what you see when you look back? What's looking back at you?
Today being March 28, 2020, I like what I see better than I ever have before. I really have. Because now I'm getting to a level where I'm putting the baseball bat down. I'm loving myself more. And I know that I'm not that bad person anymore. And I don't have to convince you or anybody else that I'm not that bad person. Let me just live the best that I live. And then when I make mistakes, correct the mistakes. And then do my best not to make the same mistakes again. So yeah, being here sober today, sitting here not acting out, you know what I mean? I can have me a woman in my bed right now and be laying up and fucking all day to numb out for the day. That's the easy thing for me to do. Okay. But it's a temporary fix that's going to give me everlasting pain. So the real reality of it is, let me stay sober because that is my strength. That's what's going to get me to the other side of being a better person. And that's what I'm grateful. That's what I'm grateful for. And I got to look at this, man. There's not a lot of black men in America, and it's just a reality and it's truth, that's not even thinking about doing something different, getting better, and they just rolling on in ignorance. And I understand because I've been there. So I'm just grateful that, hey, I'm being aware of this man. And I'm the only man I can be aware of. And I can't make a woman be aware, you know, at the same time. So hey man, it's a journey. It's not a destination. And I just got to remember that and just be loving to myself, you know. And man, here go the hard part, and it's hard. Not let your reactions be my reaction. You know what I mean? Not let your negativity or your behavior contradict my behavior. You know, my mom used to always say to me, she said, son, I'm gonna tell you something. You be right on here. A lot of stuff that you talk about, and you have issues with your brother, and you go through what you go through. You're right. I gotta tell you, you're right. But your reaction to it and the way you express yourself and you deal with it, all we can see is you being wrong. And I needed to hear that, and I had to hear that. See, my sister be able to do some real slick shit with my mom and dad's house, but it was all based on how I reacted to that, and she was able to play that against me. And I think that needed to happen for me to sit out the light and say, man, you know what? I'm no longer going to let people be able to allow my anger to control my life. Because, man, let me tell you something. It's a lot of people in the penitentiary right now because they couldn't, for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 5 seconds, they allowed someone else to control their life because of anger. Man, anger is it's a dangerous thing. Anger can have you in the penitentiary for the rest of your life, man. When you can't take that moment and stop, breathe, wait before I make a drastic decision. See, last night I was supposed to stop, breathe, and wait and talk to my lady before I just reacted and just basically fucked. You know, now anybody else say, well, there's a nigga out there right now. Well, man, why are you tripping on that? What's wrong with that? Well, it's wrong with that. That's not the way to behave. That's not the way to treat a human being. That's not the way to treat myself. You know what I mean? That's going to have me living in a sense of a lie. You know what I mean? See, man, that could have easily made me wake up and go into a spiral of acting out and looking at some porn and jerking off and go pick up me a couple of guys in the street and lay up with them and just chill. Hey, man, that was a thought today. You know what I mean? That was a thought. You know, to grab his phone and say, hey, babe, what's up? What you doing? You know? Now, that's like a behavior that's middle circle for me because, you know, I justify it because I ain't married. I don't have a wife. And it's okay for me to go get with some crippled girls. But, man, at the end of the day, man, I'm killing my spirit. I'm going to gain more by not doing nothing today, but maybe do some stuff I need to do around my house than me going to go get another gal to try to temporarily fix the feeling of the issue I had with my lady, going through that emotions of that, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my truth. And that's all I can give you.
Thank you, Pop.
I appreciate it, man.
You blessed us. Thank you. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it, man.
That's a wrap.
Hey, man, that's a wrap. That's all I can give you today, man. So we'll see how it work out next week, man. And then hopefully I'll be walking on water next week. But if not, fuck it. I'm still gonna just get in there. I'm still gonna get in that water and just keep on striving. You know what I mean? That's the best I can do, man. So it's a good day today, man.